This is for CPSC 2100. This is problem number 3 from the coding portion of the final exam. In this problem I'm given a dictionary and I'm supposed to write a function that returns a list of the keys of that dictionary that map to dictionary values that appear exactly once in the dictionary. So basically this function takes in a dictionary and it returns a list. And it's supposed to return the list and the keys in increasing order. And if the dictionary doesn't contain any values appearing exactly once, it's supposed to return an empty list. If the dictionary is empty, it's also supposed to return an empty list. So we'll go ahead and get started. First, I've got my dictionary variables up here I created. I'm going to go ahead and add the third one now, which is going to be the dictionary with values the dictionary where they have a set of values that all occur more than once. Okay, that should be good enough. Okay, so what we did here is made our function. We created empty lists to store our keys, basically that have values that only occur once in the dictionaries. Also created an open dictionary for a value tracker, and I'll show you why that is in a little bit. And so we're going to start off with, if a dictionary is empty, it's going to return an empty list, essentially. So that pretty much works off the bat. If it's an empty dictionary, we won't go any further. Next, we have our for loop, and it is for each value in the dictionary's values. If that value is in the value tracker, which is what we created right here, and this is where we keep our values. So we're going to go through, we're going to iterate through our values. It's going to add each one to the value tracker, and if it occurs more than once, it's going to increase the amount of time. So our keys are the values now, and then our values are now increasing by 1 each time we have that same value transferred into a key. And so if the value is in the value tracker, the value tracker's value goes up by 1. Else, if it's not in the value tracker, the value tracker's value equals 1. So it basically adds to it if it's there, or it will create an entry for it if it is not there. And now we're going to create our unique values dictionary. And so basically the arguments for this, or the entries for this, are value for value. It's going to take the count in value tracker.items. So for each item in value tracker, it's going to take the count. If the count is equal to 1, then it'll add it to unique values. So for each value in unique values, which is what we just created this dictionary, you're going to append that value to the one-time list that we created, and then at the end of it, we're going to sort all of our keys that we've entered into our one-time list, and so that's going to put them in order. And then at the end, of course, we're going to return one time. So we're going to go ahead and enter dictionary 1, because that's our dictionary that should have values, like multiple values that appear more than once, and then we have values that appear only once. So here we have 2, 4, 6, 7, and 8. So it's saying that at key 2 of dictionary 1, 2 only occurs once. At key 4, 4 only occurs once. At key 6, 6 only occurs once. 7 and 8, those keys values only occur once. So it's saying that the other keys in this dictionary, those values occur more than once. And we can check that right now because we got key 1 is 1. We go all the way down here, we come to key 13, and key 13, 1 occurs there. Then we have 3, so key 3 is value 3. We go on down, looks like key 11 is also value 3. Key 5 is 5, and we go on down, it looks like key 12 is also 5. Key 9 is 9, and if we go on down, key 10 is also 9. So those values all occur more than once, so they are not on our one-time list. So it looks like that worked. Now we're going to test for our dictionary, dictionary 2, which is the empty dictionary. So we're going to see what this returns with an empty dictionary. And it returns what we want. We want an empty list, it returned an empty list. So that seems to work as well. So 2 of the 3 we have sorted out. So now for dictionary 3, we're supposed to look and see if the dictionary contains only keys, or only keys where the value occurs more than once, then it's supposed to also return the dictionary. And so it's also supposed to return an empty list. So if a dictionary is an empty dictionary, we return it here as an empty list. But now we're going to have to actually go through all the sorting and see. So we're going to add this last part at the end. So if we're going to say if unique values is empty, then return an empty list. So now we're going to see if this works. So now we're going to test dictionary 3, which is our dictionary that we made to store 6 different keys, but each key has a value that is repeated in another key. So let's see how this goes. Looks like that worked too. So there we go. All 3 things seem to work. The function seems to work well.